Today I'm going to talk to you about how to elevate your students' writing in 30 minutes or less so that your class period is not chaos when it comes to teaching writing. And also what you'll find is students' writing scores just naturally increase, whether or not this is on essay or a state test or whatever it is. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the answer lies in incorporating two key strategies into your standard ELA routine. Strategy number one is to use a proven writing framework and apply it to every single writing assignment. The heart of the EBW approach is the claim, premise, evidence, and justification. Basically, it's a student's position as they answer a question and then how they can back it up with evidence and explanation. In this case, we call explanation justification. And it's natural to tie this into text-dependent writing, and students should be using it all the time. You give students a writing prompt and then they write a response with a claim, premise, evidence, justification, even if it's just a short paragraph, right? These four terms really get to become so ingrained in students that they automatically just know. They include this in all of their writing. So they need to know the order that those appear in an essay. They need to know how to craft a strong claim, how to find and cite relevant evidence, and then of course, how to justify it. So this means that students need to write more than one or two text-dependent or literary analysis essays during the year, right? They need to be using the EBW approach, the framework, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, whether that's a full-blown essay, a short response, or even just searching for relevant evidence in the text like I talked about in one of my YouTube videos a couple of videos ago, right? This writing framework gets to be rinsed and repeated and sprawled into your lessons on a consistent basis. That is key. Strategy number two is to integrate the structure of the EBW framework into everything that you do in the classroom. You now know that it is super important to use it in all writing assignments, right? But where else can it be applied? Well, these are things like small group discussion, whole class discussions, silent debates, Socratic seminars, one-pagers, graphic essays, speed debating activities, class games, you name it, right? You get the idea. Constantly asking students, can you support your position? Do you have evidence? Can you explain that? There are so many ripple effects when you require students to use parts of the EBW framework in all of your ELA activities and not just during an essay assignment. Number one, it promotes critical thinking skills. Students are constantly being encouraged to dig deeper, explain, require their discussions to be built around evidence and justification. Because when you do that, they need to think deeply about their position. They need to provide reasoning to support it. And this process really helps them evaluate information. They're able to consider a bunch of different perspectives from their classmates. They can make informed decisions. And in addition, when you require students to include supporting evidence for their claims, they have to demonstrate their ability to gather and analyze information from a variety of sources. So it strengthens the credibility of their arguments. It helps convince their classmates that their claims are in fact valid. So it's a huge win that when you encourage students to provide evidence in any ELA activity that they complete in your class, because it's fostering their research skills, their ability to present well-supported arguments. And then when you have students include justification in all of their ELA activities, it also helps them deepen their understanding of the subject matter and develop those more persuasive communication skills that we want from our students. So when students are integrating the components of the EBW approach in all that they do, their writing is going to naturally improve since they are essentially practicing this craft every single day. So if you want your students to increase their writing scores on the tests, it is essential that students first use a proven framework, a foundation, whatever it is, something like the EBW approach, but they're using it across the board in all of their writing assignments. And then they're also applying parts of that framework, like justification, evidence, etc., into all class discussions and activities. And it's when those two strategies are consistently done in your class that your students' writing success becomes inevitable.